chosen ones. Pause for a moment. What you are about to hear is not another random message sliding down your screen. This is not a coincidence. Heaven has a way of drawing the chosen into alignment, and right now, that's exactly what's happening to you. The fact that you didn't keep scrolling, the fact that your spirit tugged at you to listen this, is the evidence. God has marked you. You are not ordinary, and this moment is not ordinary. You see, chosen ones often walk through life misunderstood. People think you're strange for the way you pull back, for the way you don't fit into the noise around you. But what they don't know is that heaven has been whispering your name, setting you apart, and preparing you for a destiny that few will understand. The chosen are different, not because they asked to be, but because they were selected before birth. And when God places His hand on your life, everything about you carries weight, even your silence. The chosen cannot live like everyone else. They cannot respond like everyone else. That's why God's instructions for the chosen often sound unusual, even unreasonable. But they are never without purpose. Right now, heaven is making something clear. Silence is your weapon. Silence is your identity. Silence is your proof of discipline. You don't need to clap back. You don't need to defend yourself. And you don't need to explain your every move. God is saying to His chosen ones, stay quiet and let me speak for you. If this word is already stirring your spirit, I want you to confirm it in the comments. Type "I surrender" below as a declaration of faith towards the Almighty. When you write it, you're not just typing words, you're sealing your agreement with heaven. And don't be surprised if, even as you comment, you feel the weight of this message settling deeper into your spirit. This moment is sacred. It's not a coincidence that your ears are hearing these words, because the chosens are always called at inconvenient times, always tested in unfamiliar ways. And today, God is calling you to embrace the silence, not as a punishment, but as a preparation. You are stepping into a new season, and the rules of your old life no longer apply. If you want to walk into what's next, you must accept this divine strategy. Let's figure it out. For the chosen ones, silence is more than a discipline. It is a badge of honor. It is the invisible crown that marks them as anointed. While the world measures strength by volume, heaven measures strength by restraint. The chosen do not need to announce their greatness, because their silence already declares their identity. When you belong to God, you do not prove yourself with words. You prove yourself with obedience. Think about this. Diamonds do not need to scream to prove their value. Oil does not need to shout from the ground to be recognized. And the chosen one does not need to fill the air with explanations. Silence itself becomes evidence that you are set apart. The chosen understand that words can be weapons, but they can also be leaks. And what heaven places in your spirit must be guarded with discretion. People will misinterpret your quietness. They may call it weakness. They may assume you are lost, defeated, or indifferent. But the chosen know better. Silence is not an absence of power. It is the evidence of it. The chosen walk with a holy stillness, not because they lack answers, but because they are too focused on heaven's whispers to waste energy on earth's noise. In this season, your silence is not optional. It is essential. God is dressing His chosen in garments of humility and stillness, because He knows what is ahead requires discipline. Noise will drain you, but silence will preserve you. For the chosen, silence is not retreat, it's strategy. It is how heaven identifies its warriors, not by how loud they shout, but by how still they can remain under pressure. Chosen ones, let me tell you a truth. The enemy does not target the average. He does not waste energy on those without destiny. His attacks are reserved for the marked, for those carrying divine assignments. That's why your life has felt so intense. That's why people try to provoke you. Why situations seem designed to test your emotions. It's not random, it's strategy. The enemy knows if he can push you into reaction, he can delay your reward. The chosen are not defeated by external power. They are distracted by internal triggers. That's why silence is critical. The trap of the enemy is not always to destroy you outright. It is to make you destroy yourself with one outburst, one careless word, one emotional slip. He wants the chosen to speak too soon, to defend themselves too quickly, to reveal what heaven was still preparing in secret. But the chosen ones are wiser than that. The chosen learn to let the provocation roll off their backs. They learn that not every insult deserves an answer. Not every rumor deserves a correction. To react is to hand over your authority. To stay silent is to hold on to it. The enemy feeds on your reaction. If you deny it, he starves. So when you feel the urge to clap back, pause. Remember who you are. You are chosen. You are not like the rest. You are not here to win petty arguments. You are here to fulfill prophecy. And the chosen must be disciplined enough to recognize when a fight is bait, not destiny. Now hear this truth. The chosens are not tuned to the frequency of the crowd. They are tuned to the frequency of heaven. And heaven rarely speaks in shouts. It speaks in whispers. That's why silence is not just a discipline. It's an antenna. It positions the chosen to hear what others miss. When you are chosen, distractions will surround you. Voices will rise against you. Critics will try to drown you. But in silence, you filter out the noise and align with heaven's rhythm. The world says, speak louder, prove yourself, defend your name. But heaven says, stay still, listen, and let my voice define you. Chosen ones, silence is your tuning fork. It sharpens your spirit to recognize divine timing. It aligns your steps with God's unseen calendar. What feels like waiting is not delay, it's synchronization. Heaven is positioning you, and silence is the proof that you trust the process. Think of it like a musician tuning an instrument before the performance. The audience may grow impatient, but the chosen understand. If the tuning is wrong, the song will collapse. Likewise, silence is your tuning season. You are aligning with heaven's song. And when the moment comes, your life will play in perfect harmony because you waited in stillness. Silence is not empty. It's loaded with preparation. The chosen ones who master it will not miss their indication when the heaven says, now. For those set apart, one of the greatest dangers is speaking too soon. Many chosen ones sabotage their own destiny, not because the promise was false, but because the timing of their words was wrong. The gift was real. The dream was real. The vision was real, but the declaration was premature, and it invited sabotage. Think of Joseph in the scriptures. He was chosen, handpicked by God to carry dreams that would change nations. But when he opened his mouth too soon, sharing his vision with brothers who were not ready to understand, jealousy and betrayal followed. His dream wasn't the problem, the timing of his voice was. That is the risk of the chosen, speaking divine truths into unprepared environments. Your calling is sacred, and not everyone will recognize it. Some will misunderstand it, some will despise it, and some will actively work against it. That's why silence is your shield. When you speak before the root is strong, you expose the seed to stomping feet. But when you let the promise mature in silence, it develops strength to withstand whatever comes against it. The chosen must learn discretion. Not everyone deserves access to what God is birthing in you. The miracle in your spirit is like an unborn child. It requires privacy, protection, and patience. If you announce it too early, you invite danger. But if you guard it, nurture it, and trust God's timing, the world will see it when it's unshakable. So hear this clearly. Your silence is not secrecy, it is wisdom. You are not hiding your blessing, you are protecting it. The chosen do not need to broadcast every breakthrough, because heaven itself will broadcast it when the time comes. The danger of premature voices is real, but the reward of guarded silence is even greater. Chosen ones, your silence is more powerful than any argument. Critics feed on your reaction. Enemies thrive when you explain yourself. Opposers expect you to clap back, to justify, to defend. But when you remain quiet, you strip them of power. There is a kind of silence that stuns. It confuses those who rise against you. They are expecting war, but you give them peace. They are waiting for your defense, but you give them stillness. This is the strategy of the chosen: to starve the opposition by refusing to feed them with reaction. The truth is, you don't need to prove yourself. Chosen ones are not validated by public approval, but by divine selection. The more you defend yourself, the more you drain yourself. The more you explain, the more you cheapen what God has made priceless. But when you stay silent, heaven fights for you. Remember, God has said, "I will prepare a table before you in the presence of your enemies." But notice this. He didn't ask you to argue with them. He asked you to sit, to be still, and to watch him do the proving. The chosen don't waste energy on critics. They invest energy in destiny. So let your silence be your answer. Let your calm spirit be your rebuttal. The world may call you weak, but heaven calls you wise. Every critic, every liar, every opposer will be silenced, not by your words, but by the evidence of what God does in your life. Silence is not your weakness, it's your crown. Chosen one, now you must understand this truth. Favor is not noisy. Favor does not need an announcement. Divine opportunities often slip into the lives of the chosen quietly, and only those with a spirit of stillness recognize them. The chosen attract favor, not because of their noise, but because of their posture. A restless, loud spirit cannot discern the subtle moves of heaven, but a quiet, prepared heart is like a magnet for divine opportunities. Your silence is not empty. It is an invitation for favor to land. Think of how kings and rulers operate. They are drawn to those who carry composure, not chaos. In the same way, heaven's favor is drawn to those who demonstrate discipline and restraint. The chosen who embrace silence are signaling to heaven, "I am ready. I can be trusted. I can handle the weight of blessing." Opportunities from God are often fragile when they first appear. If you are too busy talking, reacting, or defending, you may overlook them. But silence sharpens your sensitivity. It tunes your spirit to notice doors that others miss. And once you step through them, no power on earth can close what heaven has opened. So don't despise your quiet season. Don't assume silence means nothing is happening. In truth, silence is the soil where favor grows. Chosen ones who master this will find that doors open without explanation, blessings arrive without announcement, and favor surrounds them without effort. Heaven responds to quiet readiness, and the chosen who wait in stillness will always walk in favor. Many have talent, many have dreams, but only the chosen wear the crown of restraint, and that's because of the humble discipline you carry in your life. The discipline of silence. Now this discipline is what separates the chosen from the ordinary. And silence is one of the greatest disciplines God demands of His chosen ones. The tongue is small, but it holds the power of life and death. The chosen must learn to tame it, not because they lack words, but because they understand the weight of words. Discipline means holding back when everything in you wants to speak. Discipline means trusting God enough to let Him handle what your words cannot. Think of a warrior before battle. They do not waste energy shouting into the air. They sharpen their blades in silence. They steady their breath. They prepare their hearts. The chosen are the same. Their silence is their sharpening. Their quietness is their training ground. Usually, discipline may feel heavy, but it is a crown. Every time you resist the urge to argue, every time you refuse to prove yourself, every time you stay still when provoked, you are placing another jewel in your crown. And when the time comes, that crown will shine brighter than any recognition you could have earned by defending yourself. The chosen cannot afford to live without discipline. Noise is easy. Reacting is easy. But silence takes strength. And it is this strength that heaven honors. Discipline is not just a practice. It is the mark of maturity. And the chosen ones who master it will carry authority that no man can take away. Chosen one, now that you've walked through this journey of revelation, you can see it clearly. Your silence has never been a weakness. It has always been a strategy. The world may never understand why you don't clap back, why you don't explain yourself, why you don't rush to prove your worth. But heaven does. Every time you've bitten your tongue, every time you've pulled back from unnecessary battles, every time you've trusted God more than your own defense, you've been walking in the discipline of the chosen. Silence is not the absence of voice. It is the presence of control. It is the quiet authority of someone who knows that their destiny is too important to waste on arguments. The chosen are not ordinary people, and their battles are not ordinary battles. You are marked for something greater, and that mark comes with rules that do not apply to everyone else. While others may live carelessly, the chosen must live carefully. While others may speak recklessly, the chosen must guard their words. And while others may fight for recognition, the chosen must wait for God to reveal them. Your silence has been your shield. It has protected dreams not ready to be seen. It has starved enemies waiting for your reaction. It has invited favor that cannot be explained. And it has crowned you with discipline, the mark of true authority. Even in moments when you felt invisible, even in seasons when you wondered if your quiet obedience mattered, heaven was watching. Every withheld word, every patient pause, every unspoken prayer was recorded. Nothing has been wasted, but understand this: silence is not forever. A time comes when God takes the mute button off the chosen, when He lifts them into visibility, and the very people who questioned your silence will witness your sound. Until then, your stillness is not punishment, it is preparation. God is sharpening you in quiet, so that when you do speak, your words will carry weight that shakes atmospheres. So here is my charge to you. Don't despise your quiet season. Don't grow weary of being misunderstood. Don't break your silence just to prove a point. Trust that heaven knows when to reveal you. The chosen never remain hidden forever. They remain hidden until the right time. And when that time comes, no force on earth or in hell will be able to silence what God has placed inside you. If this word spoke to your spirit, I want you to seal it right now. Go to the comments and type, "My silence is my strength," as a declaration. Let this be your moment of agreement with heaven. Because the truth is, you are not just hearing these words by chance. You are here because you are chosen. And the chosen never walk away the same.